What have you been saying, though, about all of the big stories? I know naturally the price of petrol will be top on that list. Well, Bukola joins me now as we get your thoughts in on the program. Bukola.
Yes, hello again, Kari. There's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration in the comments today. And, you know, it's no surprise because of what we're grappling with now. And, you know, perhaps what is even more uncertain for Nigerians is when will this end? And that's where we're starting off. Fuel now selling in Lagos for 998 naira per litre. Southwest 1,025 naira, Abuja 1,030 naira, Southeast 1,045 naira, South 1,075 naira, Northeast 1,070 naira. And this is just the benchmark price sold by the NNPCL. Other stations in other parts of the country, you know, these regions listed will indeed have petrol selling way beyond 1,100, 1,200 naira, depending on the marketer that's selling to Nigerians. But that's just the price list of the NNPCL. So Collins Okpara is the first person writing in this morning, and he says, this is outrageous, 1,030 naira per litre. How are Nigerians supposed to survive with fuel prices skyrocketing like this? The Tinubu government needs to step up and fix this mess immediately. Enough with the excuses.
Christopher is the next user saying fuel is gradually heading to 2,000 naira per litre. At this point, it looks like fuel is chasing the forex, naira to dollar, because they're not far apart. Goes on to say, I miss the days when fuel scarcity drove the price to 400 naira per litre, but now 1,030 is the new normal. Scarcity will drive the price up 200%. This user predicts. Again, I imagine people saying, I reject it. But you can never predict some of these things. So you understand where this user is coming from.
It seems like the more we reject it, the more it's chasing at us. So
maybe stop rejecting it and focus on the people who are meant to do something, right?
Absolutely. But the sad thing is that they're not saying anything, but we'll keep asking the questions. Yeah. And this next user, who is Dr. D, has quite a lot to say. And Dr. D says, wow, that's unbelievable. If the price is really reaching 1,030 naira per litre, it's going to place an even greater strain on everyday living costs. I hope the government can address this issue and find ways to stabilize the prices, because many people are already struggling to cope, and that's an understatement. Many people are unable to eat right now. And that's the truth.
So petrol is literally a luxury item right now with the price. It's luxury. If you're earning 30,000, because a lot of people have not started paying the minimum wage, right? So if you're earning 30,000 naira and you want to fuel per month, not per day, right? And you want to fuel whatever it is you use, maybe a motorcycle, a generating set. Let's say you buy 5 liters, right, to be modest, per week, right? 5 liters per week times
that's
4.
5,600 naira per litre.
20,000 naira. So you have 10,000 naira left to feed, to at least keep
pay
something
your bills.
For you get it, for power, accommodation, and the rest. So yes, I think it should be a luxury item. Let's just declare it a luxury item. Charge all of the other charges on it. Uncle Choice has the next one, again predicting that this will go beyond what we have already, heading to 2,000 or 3,000 by December with the way things are going.
We reject it.
Yeah, you need a little bit of humor here and there. So yes, thank you very much, Bukola, for that one.
Well, this last one is from Tayuns, who say, be like NATO, they trek the way people for Old Testament, they run them. Well, pretty much trying to say that it may seem like we would have to resort to walking the way the biblical people in the Old Testament did.
Well,
so
people are already doing that. So they do, they trek for a bit and use what they have to
balance up.
Yeah, to balance up and take transportation. So that's the reality. But that's not all. Let's talk about the fuel queues resurfacing across Nigeria as petrol prices go up. So it's like a twin devil. Once prices are about to go up, or when they go up, naturally queues will follow. So it's usually two. Once you see queues, you know that there's a price increase. Or once you hear price increase, you know there's queue. They go hand in hand. Taye and Kendi. Senator Olalere has this to say: a straightforward solution is lowering petrol prices for consumers or a straightforward solution to lowering petrol prices for consumers is for the federal government to subsidize the crude oil supply to Dangote directly from the source. This user says this will not only reduce production costs, but will also result in a decrease in the final price of petrol. So subsidy is what we're going back to.
Eliminate the middleman that was initially collecting the subsidy, right?
What middleman was collecting the subsidy?
The NNPCL.
So this is for crude.
Okay.
Right. If they're given Dangote crude.
Okay, subsidize the crude oil.
The crude,
yeah.
right. So this user is asking for subsidy. So not subsidizing the
petrol,
the product or the output, final output, but subsidizing the crude. So whichever way, it looks like subsidy is still being asked for. Because clearly, as I said earlier on, other things aren't growing as fast as the price of petrol.
And, you know, there are many creative solutions that have been, you know, brokered amid all of this. The Trade Union Congress president had said some weeks back on our platform, by the way, that, you know, the federal government can give concession in forex to petrol marketers, importers who can import petrol. Perhaps that will bring down just a little bit the cost of petrol. But more importantly, that would guarantee sufficiency, you know, in the market rather than this perennial cycle of scarcity that we keep experiencing.
So we're back to still important. I think the goal was to have energy security sufficiency back home. So the Port Harcourt refinery, by the way, has been very quiet. You know, let's take more comments.
The NNPCL Group Managing Director, the energy security you promised is not here. Where is it?
It's looking even farther from us right now. The next user, Sesioni Paint, Bukola says that for how long are we going to be resilient? Just because NNPC announced increment, majority of fuel stations are not selling. Transport fare has increased again. Must we use all our salary to enter transport? It's exhausted. It's becoming unbearable. You know, some of these things, you have to say it as they feel it. And that's what the user is essentially saying, something we reiterated earlier on the trends.
The Nigerian kind of grammar, compelled by peculiar circumstances. We spend all of our money, all of our salary on entering transport, Mr. President. Please take note of that. His Cleopatra says, since there's fuel scarcity again, the keke driver was complaining that the price has increased again. She bought it for 900 plus last night and 1,200 naira this morning. In the same filling station, the bus driver I entered was literally, the bus I entered rather, or boarded as the case may be, was literally begging the fuel attendant to sell to them.
So real stories, real people, just in case you're wondering who are the people feeling this. I bet you're feeling it as well. But I will take a moment from well, some of the things you're saying. The Nigeria Labour Congress has also said, no, this is making people poorer. This is clearly not the way to go. But we'll take a moment and then give you some other angles to this, the economic bit. Does it make economic sense? The market forces responsible for this yet again. There's a lot in the mix, as we said. So we're ensuring that you get all of the angles to this. So stay with us right here. We're still dealing with this all-important conversation in a moment. Stay with us.